Hey everybody, Delegate798 here. This is my review of the 2014 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film. Saw it yesterday and was too tired to review it yesterday, so I waited till today to review it. And before I get on with the review, I'm going to give the history. Of course, I've been waiting for a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie since 1996 when I saw the first two. Then finally got to see it in 2007 when they released the newest one, TMNT 2000 TMNT. And since then, I've been waiting for what was supposed to be the sequel or a reboot of that movie. It's later announced that it'd be a reboot, and in 2010 it would be announced that Michael Bay will be directing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, and I was actually excited for that because I thought he could actually make Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles work. All the crap that was in Transformers, all the problems with Transformers, couldn't be helped. The first problem being, of course, the humans being more important than the Transformers. It's not like that because he wanted to be like that. I think the original script had the Transformers more important. The problem is they don't have the money or budget for that. You're talking several giant alien Transformers robots. They all transform. They all have characters. They all have backstories, and all that stuff. And you weren't getting all that in the film. That's like way too much money. In a good Transformer movie in this day and age, like I said, can't be made. A really good Transformers movie, like the cartoons and comics, can't be made because you're gonna have to get to the point where you don't need actors in movies, where everything can just be completely CGI. Despite how advanced CGI is today, you still need actors. That is why the Transformers movie sucks. Then, of course, all the pointless comedy and characters that distract from the story. They do have plots, but all these characters and other stuff distract from it. There's none of this crap about action or explosions and stuff like that. That's in other films and other stuff people don't complain about. Teenage Mutant Turtles. But then when I heard in 2012 they would be aliens, I raged. I got mad. That's when I actually stopped defending Michael Bay. I was gonna make a video coming on here cursing out and ranting on the Michael Bay haters, but in 2012 when he announced they were aliens, I immediately raged. I was so happy that he later listened to all the criticisms from fanboys, and I think Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman, the creators of TMNT, and finally got it back somewhat closer to what it was. That's 4 baby turtles mutated by mutagen, mutated by ooze, and are trained and become Teenage Mutant Turtles, and are trained in ninjutsu by Splinter, a rat who also came into contact with the ooze, and they were named after the Renaissance painters. They were named after the Renaissance Renaissance painters: Raphael, Michelangelo, Donatello, and Leonardo. He got it back somewhat closer. They did change it, which I'm about to get to, but he got it back closer to what it's supposed to be. And I was like, okay, I'm still gonna watch it. Of course, I'm still gonna watch it because I'm a huge Teenage Mutant Turtles fan, and I've been waiting for another TMNT movie for a long time, so I'm still gonna watch it, give it a shot. Then, of course, in 2014, we finally see the leak shots, and I was like, oh man, dude, those leak shots, they look cool with the muscles and the samurai armor. That stuff looks awesome. Shredder, he actually looked terrible until I saw the trailer. Next, I saw the first trailer. Okay, the movie still looks kind of terrible from the looks of the trailer. It looks like it's taking itself way too serious. It's like it's some Dark Knight pretentious garbage. I was like, no, a TMNT movie, have fun with it. Can't be action film with a good story centered around the characters. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I want. None of that pretentious philosophical garbage that Dark Knight, Man of Steel, and even the Amazing Spider-Man tried to do. None of that garbage in the film. But it's still looked good enough to watch. It's still looked good enough to watch. It's still looked good enough to watch. I didn't like how the foot looked like Yakuza Men. Then I see the second, third trailers and all the TV spots. All the TV spots and these right here were awesome, man. These right here were awesome. These right here were awesome. They show more action, more interaction with the Turtles in April and stuff, and more interaction with the other actors and stuff. And yeah, this right here is what I want to see. Then they show Shredder fighting and stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, it's gonna be good. Shredder on paper looks stupid, but when I saw him in the film, he looked awesome. He looked awesome when I saw him in the trailers. So I was like, you know what? I'm looking forward to this movie, man. Then I read online that if the film is successful, of course, in 2016 they'll do a sequel, and this time Casey Jones, Bebop and Rocksteady, Krang, and Dimension X from the 80s cartoon would be featured in the sequel. Okay, right there, automatic. They automatically managed to get me in the theater after what they just promised in the sequel. So I at least hope this film is at least decent, at least entertaining. So then of course, I see a cool music video on Nickelodeon. It's even in my likes now. Nickelodeon. I see a cool music video, Shell Shock, performed by Juicy J of 3 6 Mafia, Wiz Khalifa, and Dollar Sign. This was one of the best. This was one of the best rap songs ever. Just like Partners in Crime and MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice in the 90s. Now we got Juicy J, Wiz Khalifa, and Dollar Sign in the 2000s. Another cool rap song to get me hyped for the film. And that song Shell Shock is awesome. I even have it in my likes. And then I see more action in the movie. I'm like, oh man, I gotta see this movie. Then of course, well, even before the rap, I forgot to cover this. Even before I saw the rap video, of course, the movie had already released, and I watched various people reviews on it, and I heard some of the spoilers. Really didn't care about the spoilers. I was gonna forget all that crap when I saw the movie anyway, and some of these spoilers even made me want to see the movie more. I seen all the spoilers, and then I see people just dogging the crap out of this movie. So all the problems I thought so of course I already had a lot of criticism going into the movie. When I finally saw that movie, when I arrived in that theater during the credits, during the opening credits, when I arrived in that movie with the cool comic book CGI cutscene, I was immediately hooked. This movie, while they changed some things, this movie was a modern day version of this, and where is it at? Hold on for a moment. This movie was a modern day version of all three of these. This movie was a modern day version of all three of these. Like the TMNT movies, I love how they kept the turtles in the shadows. They kept the turtles in the shadows. And then revealed them at a certain point in the movie, just like the first one did. I remember how big a deal that was when April O'Neil in the first movie, when she got jumped by Sam Rockwell, the thugs led by actor Sam Rockwell. You see a sigh, and you hear the turtles, but you don't hear nothing but rumbling. Then you hear the turtles laughing and giggling. Then it freezes, and then bam, out of nowhere, here come the turtles, man. Here come turtles. They repeated a similar trick in the second one, in the TMNT. They were all reimagining in that version, completely different reimagining that version. So it's a modern version of those. Since it's CGI now, one of the advantages of CGI versus suits is that they can do all the stunts, all the rooftop jumping and flips and stuff. That wasn't possible. That wasn't possible with the suits back in the day. That's one of the coolest things about being CGI. Yeah, like I said, this movie was awesome. Everything, even the things I had a problem with. Let me get to my criticisms now, since I was going into the movie with these criticisms. One criticism I had a problem with, of course, was the turtles being bulletproof. And being nearly being, I think in one scene indicates that they're superhuman, that they're superhuman. Going into the film, I had a problem with that, but once I saw how it ties into the plot, and that this right here, okay, this is usually what I want, but they never do this. Whenever they remake or reboot a film, I always want them to go closer to the source materials than the last film did. And they never do. They always go off and do their own thing. They always do that. So them changing the origin and changing some things up, I didn't mind it, because they always do it. People complain about seeing the same movie. For some odd reason, people don't want to see the same movie. You know, that's what I do. I want to see the same movie. I want the second one. I want the reboot to be more accurate than what's name. That's why I'm always harder when they reboot stuff and deviate and make BS mistakes. But this movie did its own thing, and in my opinion, made it work. Of course, they weren't going to use the same stories in the 90s. People will be saying it's a rip-off of the 1990 version. But going back to the superhuman strength and that actually works for the plot of the film. The Shredder is a Asian man in a big muscle type armor, and the foot soldiers, they use guns. Yeah, realism. That's actually realistic. So at first I had a problem with the foot soldiers being Yakuza. Like, man, but looking back, that's actually pretty realistic. Mafia thugs and gangsters, they use guns. Yeah, they fight with their hands, but they use guns and stuff. So it shows how in the 80s cartoon, you had robots not using guns, not putting a gun on them, and ninjas, and just using weapons. No one's using a gun when the turtles in the cartoon and comics aren't bulletproof. So yeah, them using guns and the tasers, the sticks with the lightning on them. Yeah, that all of that made sense for the plot for this universe, for the plot of the film. Now, I'm gonna talk about Megan Fox. Megan Fox was awesome in this film. She wasn't the best actor, but unlike in Transformers, where she really had no business being in that movie, who really cared about the love triangle? I mean, the relationship love story between Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox. I didn't. It was cliched and stupid. And made the film look bad. Megan Fox won anything that was good about the Transformers movies. Here, she's playing an actual character in the show. Megan Fox's character, Michaela from Transformers, that's not a character in the Transformers mythology, in the Transformers series. Sam Spike Witwicky is, but not Megan Fox. Spike Sam Witwicky is, but not Michaela. Nor was Sam Witwicky's goofy parents. Here, in this film, she's portraying a character from the actual comics and source material, April O'Neil. Then I love her character, the underdog, trying to sell her story, but no one believes her. If you would have told someone this crap, yeah, they would laugh at you. So yeah, I don't have a problem with Whoopi Goldberg. Even Vernon, he was a good rival and comic relief in the 80s cartoon. I didn't care about him in this film until I saw him here. He was hilarious. Hilarious in this film, and good comedy relief, tag along and ally to the turtles. So, and Whoopi Goldberg. People are like, I didn't want to see this because of Whoopi Goldberg. First of all, I never had a problem with Whoopi Goldberg, but I'll tackle this anyway because this is another criticism. She was April O'Neil's boss. That's it. She's April O'Neil's boss, April O'Neil tries to sell her what she sees as a bogus story and fires her. So yeah, this film had a great story. This film had a great story. I love the origin. Let's get to the origin of the turtles. Of course, in this version, they were April O'Neil's pets. They were April O'Neil's pets, and they disappeared and got mutated into the Ninja Turtles. They all got mutated into the Ninja Turtles, and unknowns to her have been in the sewers, have been in the sewers, do what they can to protect New York. Unknowns to her, despite it all being familiar. Tell you the truth, this origin, while it was different, this is one of the many times it's an improvement in comparison to the other two origins. This one right here is the most realist one. This is the most realist origin of all the series, and it works for this universe, for the plot of this universe of the Turtles. It works, and and the story was good. And of course, you got Fitchner's character. I keep forgetting his name. Fitchner's character. He wants to spread a virus in New York City, and use the turtles mutant to create a cure. That way the people will have to pay money. People have to pay money to get a cure, and with this virus, they can use it to dominate the city even more. They already have some kind of foothold on the city, hence their name, the Foot. I love that analogy. Why they call themselves the Foot? The Foot. What's his name over the city? Mutagen, which will make him rich, and they can control the city more. So you have really a good story. I love the chemistry between the actors. I love the brotherhood of the Turtles. They kept that from the cartoon and comics. The humor. I love how the Turtles constantly joke around. Especially Mikey. Mikey was hilarious. He had me dying in this film. So did Vernon. I love the brotherhood of the Turtles. And like I said, something I wanted to see in Amazing Spider-Man, but didn't get it. They are serious in battle scenes, but they when they win, they're constantly cracking jokes and stuff. Like I like the beginning where April shoots the picture. That scene was awesome. That seems to really, no one, this city is ours. We haven't been seen. Something like that. It was awesome. It was awesome. The actors, the voice actors from the Turtles, don't remember them, but they were good. Good. Turtles, they felt even more despite still being cartoonish, just like it was years ago, they felt even more real, just like in TMNT. They felt even more like real actual mutant turtles. And actually, it was, like I said, it was just like these. It was just like these films right here. The only difference is in this film you got more technology in this film. Hence that takes place in a more modern time, in an even more modern time than the 90s, than the 80s or 90s were. So but that is, for the most part, in my opinion, it's mostly the same movie with a different origin. But they always do that because people don't want to see the same thing. I wanted it to be like that, but when you keep the same stuff from the last ones, people accuse it of being a ripoff. That's what people do. Then of course, next, got complaints that it'd be more like a superhero movie, and in some scenes it was, but they still had some awesome martial arts sequences. Shredder kicked so much butt, and so did the Turtles. This show had a lot of cool, witty lines like, "Yeah, we're ninjas," and there were several others. This film was awesome. Shredder, just like how he was in the 1990 film. Shredder was an intimidating, scary bad guy. Scary bad guy. We got to see a live-action adaptation of the Turtles, Shredder, and what's his name? I can't wait for Bebop and Rocksteady, Krang, and Casey Jones, how they're going to be in the sequel. Then we're gonna Then of course, yeah. All in all, this film, a film that I started off hating. But as I read more, as I watched more, kept getting better and better, and I finally seen it. And this film once again exceeded my expectations. Once again exceeded my expectations of what I expected from this film. I just wanted this film to be entertaining and decent, so we can and for it to make money, so we can get to that sequel, which they're talking about, which I'm really looking forward to. This film was awesome. This film was awesome. Megan Fox, like I said, wasn't the best actor ever, but she was an okay actor, but she didn't have to be a good actor. She didn't really have to be a good actor. Her character was good. I cared about her character in this film. Her character was good, and she was funny too. The scene where she was in the sewer. Are we in the sewer? The way how nonchalantly and how much she said that, and of course the Vernon, the crack about them being aliens. He said, "No, that is stupid." She was actually funny in this film. She was pretty entertaining in this film. So this film right here was awesome. A film that I expected to be one of the biggest disappointments of this year turned out to be one of the best things, one of the best films of this year. This film right here was just awesome. So happy once again, just like I did with DBE and Green Lantern. I stayed after the credits just in case there was something already for the sneak peek, but nah, gotta wait to 2016. But this film right here, this film was awesome. I take back every bad thing I said about Michael Bay and Megan Fox. Both of you are forgiven. This film right here was awesome, man. This film right here was awesome, man. This film right here. What else? Is there anything else I got to talk about? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Everything in this film was awesome. Awesome TMNT film. Oh yes, about the comics. I got to talk about those comics one last time. Unlike the other mainstream superheroes like Batman, Spider-Man, the X-Men, Fantastic Four, those comics were mainstream, Turtles was an underground comic. I do not expect Michael Bay or any of those guys to read underground comics. I did expect him to watch the original movies, the cartoons, and the cartoons, because those were mainstream. Those were mainstream. The comics weren't. I didn't even know this was a comic until 2005. And didn't even get to read some until 2009. And didn't even get to finish, because Nickelodeon removed, once they acquired the rights to Turtles, they removed all the material from the website. But yeah, this film right here was awesome. This was nowhere near as bad as haters made it out to be. I didn't expect critics to like this. They didn't like the first one back in the day. That was hugely popular with fans and people of that generation. That wasn't popular with critics. That was criticized too. I think it has a 30-something on IMDb, and then the third one was hated the most. The first two, while they were criticized, they were at least considered okay. The third one was hated more. TMNT, that was once again popular, a modest box office success, and that's mixed amongst fans. But that was kind of hated by critics too. So I didn't expect critics to like this film. Well, that's it. This film right here was awesome. Dug out.